right, guys, it is, well, now the beginning of 2025. The end of the year was last year, so it's time to talk about the top 10 best movies, top 10 worst movies of the years. I'm going to just kind of bring up some honorable mentions here that are not on my list, but I will just kind of briefly kind of go over them here. Red One was just kind of a bland, boring Christmas movie. Here, I admire Robert Zemeckis for trying to do this camera in one spot location, but it does not work. And him constantly trying to use like technology just it needed to stop. He's just yeah. Nutcrackers was a David Gordon Green Ben Stiller movie on Hulu. It's another Christmas movie. Not bad per se. It was just very eh. Um, let's see. Trap. M Night Shyamalan just made a movie that that movie frustrated me so very much. A Family Affair on Netflix with Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman. It was fine. I didn't think it was as horrible as a lot of people thought it was. The Watchers from M Night's Daughter. Just a movie that kind of went nowhere. Um, uh, let's see. The Strangers was an horror movie, very predictable. There was moments I'm like, okay, she's crawling under the house. That means something's gonna poke her in the hand, and she's got to stifle her scream. Garfield movie was very blah and boring. Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse biopic was not done very well. Sorry, Sam Taylor Johnson. The newest Ghostbusters this last year, it just eh. Kamal Nanjiali, I can never say his name, um, was so annoying in that movie. I could not stand it. Um, uh, Drive Away Dolls, the Coen brother movie, absolutely horrendous. Almost made my top 10 worse. Um, let's see. The Bob Marley biopic really wasn't that great. I was very disappointed by that. I did not like the movie. I saw the TV Glow. A lot of people did. Sasquatch Sunset was supposed to be this dumb comedy that was just, well, dumb. I just said it. So yeah, there's just kind of some of my dishonorable mentions, I guess you could say. But let's just get into my official top 10 here, starting with Argyle. Argyle was a Matthew Vaughn movie. I was kind of excited for this movie. I enjoy the Kingsman's movies. I don't think they're anything spectacular, but I've enjoyed them. And this just seemed like a fun, interesting movie. Um, and in the end, it has terrible special effects. All these plot twists that go absolutely nowhere. Dua Lipa and Henry Cavill are like huge on this poster, and they're in the movie for 10 minutes, maybe, if even that. Um, and it's so convoluted, so stinking convoluted. I just could not believe it was like, okay, we're going here now, and now we're going here, and you're like, okay. Um, yeah, and just the things that happen in this movie are beyond ridiculous, just beyond ridiculous. And then the end credit scene, um, it doesn't make sense to me. Why is Samuel L. Jackson in this movie then? If the end credit scene is there, is that his twin? Is that his brother? It's so convoluted, stupid, and it's based on a book that wasn't released at the time, but is now. But in that book is the fourth one. This movie is just so convoluted and so stupid. And come on, Matthew Vaughn, come on, man. I was hoping that it was gonna be fun and good, and in the end, it was just so eh. I just was so disappointed by it. Next up is The Crow. I don't think anyone was expecting this movie to be good. I thought it was better than than I originally thought it was going to be. But that being said, it's not good. The original Crow is great. It's a cool kind of gothic romance revenge kind of story. And the great thing about the 1994 Crow is that within 15 minutes we get that there was this beautiful relationship and the woman was murdered and revenge. This movie though spends the first 45 minutes of a movie that is 111 minutes. Yeah. Um, Showing us this toxic relationship really. They're in prison together and then they escape together and then we see like I don't know, is it a weekend? Is it a month? Is it a year of them basically just going at it in this rich people's house that's not even theirs? Yeah, and then the Crow what's the Crow really? There's not much crowing going on here. And then when he is out for revenge at the end, he's kind of just killing everybody. He's not like this nice guy. He's just like, I'm going to kill everyone. And don't get me wrong, there's some kind of cool killing sequences going on towards the end there. And there are some fun, kind of like John Wick-esque kind of moments. The movie's just kind of bland and boring from there. And just, if you want to watch The Crow, watch the original, because this is just, it's not good. So that is my number 9. Number 8 is Night Swim. This feels like some people were around a table smoking joints and went, okay, what movie can we make that's really cheap? Well, horror movies are cheap. Okay, great. We're gonna make a horror movie. What kind of horror movie are we making? What is it gonna be about? Well, we could make a well, we've done haunted house movies. We could do oh, how about a haunted pool? Oh, yeah, that'd be dope, man. That's what this movie felt like. It just felt like people were like, and it had a good cast. I was somewhat excited for this movie, even though I thought the idea was really stupid. This movie's just so the tension in this movie is so laughably bad. Performances are good, I guess. Story though is just so stupid. It was just so dumb. Um, I can't remember too much about this honestly. It came out in January, but I just remember just laughing the entire time because this movie is so stupid. Um, I believe it came out in January of this last year, but Wyatt Russell, Carrie Condon. I mean, two great actors in this, and I don't know. I don't understand the point of that one. So that is my, what was that? Number 8. 8. We are on 7. Oh, 7. I said this is a dishonorable mention. I guess it actually was part of my list. I forgot it was part of my list. Here. As I said before, Robert Zemeckis, I admire you for trying this camera one spot thing. I admire you for trying to use technology in the way that you were doing it, but it's just not working. Um, the face replacement on Tom Hanks in particular didn't necessarily work for me. Um, when you have a character this far, way far in the background, and you can barely see their face, and they're like crying about something, you can't see their emotion. They're so far away that you can't see it. It does not work. And then you got these stupid things from the past, like Benjamin, was it Benjamin Franklin? I don't even remember. I think it was Benjamin Franklin that we saw, and then there was uh, what was it? The Lazy Boy creators, which wasn't even actually real, and it was just horny people making a lazy boy. It just some dumb things. The guy flying the airplane or whatever. This movie does not work. It's boring. It would have been an interesting 15-minute short, but this is not a short. It's like, how long is this movie? I forgot. It's over an hour and a half long. It's nearly 2 hours long. It was. I I debated putting this one on my top 10 worst, and that's why I put it as a dishonorable mention, because I took it on and off so many different times. Because at the end of the day, this movie is an interesting idea. I like the idea of what Zemeckis is trying to do, but I also love Forrest Gump. I also love Castaway. But when you make a bad movie, it's a bad movie. Sorry, Zemeckis. Sorry, Tom Hanks. Next up, Miller's Girl, another movie that came out in January of this year. I believe it was January, either January or February. Um, and you have, what's her face? I can't remember her name all of a sudden. Jenna Ortega, who is in love with her teacher, played by Martin Short. Not Martin Short. What's his name? Martin Freeman. God dang it. I'm struggling today, guys. Um, yeah, and it just goes absolutely nowhere. They both like books, I guess, and then I forget. Does she blackmail him? I don't remember. Just, it was a really bad movie. It was supposed to be sexy. It was not sexy. Um, yeah, I just, again, I don't remember too much about it because it came out in January, but it was just so horrendous. They had no chemistry together. The dialogue, I remember the dialogue being just awful. Like, no one talks like this. And they're supposed to be different talking because they read books, but still, I was like, no one talks like this. I don't care if you read 150,000 books. You're not going to talk like that. Um, so yeah, this was just a horrendous movie. Again, I don't remember too much about it, so there's not much to say about it right now. Next up, Imaginary, another horrible horror movie. Again, I think this one came out. Did this one come out in summer? I don't remember too much about it. I just remember absolutely freaking hating my time in the theater in this. It wasn't scary. It was like this imaginary world that you went into or something. Who was the mother? The Wanda Weiss was trying. She gave a decent performance. Every other performance in the movie was terrible. Children's. I remember the children performances in this. Sorry, kids. The performances were absolutely terrible. They just did not work. And I don't remember much about this movie. I just remember it was absolutely terrible. And I remember just immediately just ranking this as like number. What did I give this? Like a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. There's some decent visual moments, but at the end of the day, this movie was just terrible. And the fact that I don't remember anything about it goes to show you how flippin' terrible it was. Next up, one of the most recent ones, Kraven the Hunter. Um, this movie, it just was horrendous. The ADR in this movie is so bad. When you see a character looking away and they're not talking and their jaw is moving, you know that's bad. When you see a character not talking but their mouth, like their mouth should not be moving if they're not talking. And if they are talking and saying something and you're clearly seeing them say other things that is not coming out of their mouth, ugh. Um, so poorly written. The line that everyone's talking about where my grandma died and I never saw her again. No shit, your grandma died and you never saw her again because she's dead. You can't see her again unless, or it was talk. That's what it was. Never talk to her again. No shit, you can't talk to your grandma because she's dead. Unless you like can talk to the dead or something. It's just so poorly written. The visual effects in this were absolutely terrible. There's some decent-ish action scenes. It was just so horrendous. I had a couple drinks before going in to see this, and I still did not enjoy myself. Aaron Taylor Johnson is giving it his all. Ariana DeBose is doing the best she can, but like her character is so stupid, and she's supposed to be like a hero in the comics or a villain or whatever in the comics, and it doesn't work. Russell Crowe is getting a paycheck, and I'm sure he'll admit to that. Um, yeah, and who directed this again? J.C. Chandler. That's right. Um, what movie did he make again? I forget. This is an actual good director. He did A Most Violent Year, All Is Lost. Um, it, it just felt like Sony 100% went in and took over this movie and just come on, we don't need a separate universe of Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man. It doesn't make sense. Rhino is in this movie. He looks better than I guess with Paul Giamatti, but that ain't saying very much. Um, yeah, this movie's horrendous. I do have a review of this up on my YouTube channel, so you can check out how much I hated this movie there. This movie is just so dumb. And how he becomes Kraven the Hunter by a little bit of lion blood getting, was it his eyeball or his cut? I can't remember. It was just so stupid. This movie was so bad, so horrendous. I hope the Spider-Man villain spin-off universe, Venom: The Last Dance, that's another movie could be part of my dishonorable mentions. I didn't say that one, and I 100% should have, because God, I did not enjoy that movie. Yeah, just goodbye, Spider-Man Sony universe. It's not working. And followed up by another Spider-Man Sony universe movie that came out in February, I believe. Adam Webb. Okay, I can maybe see Kraven the Hunter. At least he's like a badass killer dude. Madam Web. Not only Madam Web, but you don't actually see Madam Web until the last bit of the movie. This is like the origins of Madam Web. Um, so much product placement in this movie, something I cannot stand. Um, so many cringy lines that no one could have gotten away with saying that. They felt worse than an SNL skit line, some of these lines. The villain, again, ADR'd up the wazoo. He just, his mouth was not moving with the words he was saying. Sometimes words that were being said just weren't words that were coming out of their mouth. You can just tell. And it was so silly. Uncle Ben is in this movie as well as is Aunt May and or not Aunt May. I don't know. The point is that baby Peter Parker is in a belly and could possibly Who cares? The plot to this movie is so stupid. The things that they do in this movie is absolutely horrendous. The stuff that happens in this movie is just so stupid. Um, it's just such a bad movie. And then at the end to give us this little, oh my god, the little like things at the end. Oh, I see you brought home this, blah blah blah. And she's wearing the stupid glasses in her wheelchair. It looks so stupid. This movie was just horrendous. Um, Again, not enough drinks in the world could help you because I had some drinks before this one, and it's so bad. It's so bad. The people that are watching this on Netflix are like, oh no, it's not that bad. No, it's bad. You clearly aren't paying attention because it's bad. It's so bad. Some of the just the dialogue they're saying, just oh my god. I can't stop talking about how bad this movie is. I don't even know what number we're on. The point is, I think we're on number 2. This is number 2. Last year, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was my number 1 worst movie of the year. This year, I think what is it? It is number 2. Number 2, guys. They got different people to come in and they tried to do better. They listened a little bit. And this movie is a teeny tiny bit better. That being said, it's still really bad. You have Owl in this time, and you have Tigger. New Christopher Robin that I guess is acting a little bit better. Yeah, this movie is terrible, and it's giving us the Pooniverse. I believe we're getting a Peter Pan movie this year. We're getting a Pinocchio movie this year. We're getting a Bambi movie this year. We're getting a Steamboat Mickey Willie movie this year. Just come on, people. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to watch all these movies because I don't know if they're available for me to watch and they're an hour and a half long, like this one. I'll watch it. I don't know. I feel the need to. I don't know why I do what I do, guys. But this movie's horrendous. It's just so stupid. Some terrible dialogue. Um, the costumes just look so terrible. It's just. I don't want to even talk about it anymore. But my number 1 movie, a movie I've already reviewed, Dear Santa. Directed by a Farley brother. Isn't this the guy that did Green Book too? I believe he did Green Book. No, he didn't. He didn't. Okay, thank God. But he did Champions though. Okay. Anyways, the point is, it's directed by a Farley brother, and this movie is so flippin' horrendous. The more and more I thought about this movie, like I go back and look at my review of this movie, and I'm not hard enough on this movie. It's bad. Um, Jack Black is clearly having a blast enjoying his $2 million or whatever he's getting paid for this movie. Child acting in this movie is absolutely terrible. Post Malone showing up essentially to advertise himself in a venue that looks to be as big as my bedroom. It's like the smallest stage I've ever seen. There's no way Post Malone is performing on this stage. Not when he's doing sold out arena tours and stuff. And like, maybe I guess because he's Satan, he can make him do it. I don't know. This movie is just so stupid. It's so dumb. Satan comes instead of Santa to answer a letter because he accidentally messes up the letters. It's so dumb. This movie was just so horrendous. The direction was so poor, the child acting so terrible, the script was so bad. It wasn't funny. Was it PG-13? I forget if it was PG-13. If it was PG-13, it, it, it I don't know who was this for. There was some language in it that I was like, okay, that's not appropriate for children, so it's got to be PG-13. I don't know. It's not telling me if it's PG-13. But the point is, it was just so bad. It just went all over the place. I just didn't know what I was watching, and I was like, wow, I turned this on. Why would I do this to myself? It was during Christmas, so I'm like, I'm going to watch Christmas movies, and I stopped watching Christmas movies because of this movie, I think. That's why there wasn't more Christmas movie reviews. This movie just got me going so much that I was like, I don't want to watch Christmas movies. I said on my YouTube channel that I was going to watch more Christmas movies, and guess who stopped watching Christmas movies? And I'm getting so cranky that I'm messing up the angle on my camera here. There we go. It's a little better, I guess. So yeah, this movie blew my mind at how stupid it was. And that is why it's my number 1 worst movie of the year. Stay tuned. I will, or actually, I will already have my video up of my top 10 best movies of the year. Yeah, more reviews to be coming. Oscar nominations, if they're not up, they will be up. Yeah, lots of movies, some TV shows are coming, such like that, guys. So I hope you guys have yourself a great day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and hey, I'll see you next.